It's causing this beam. Like a hole in the cloud, or a window through the cloud. Very small little insect is walking around there, maybe feeding on something from the grass, but like some ladybugs do, they actually feed off other little insects. So maybe this is just looking for opportunity. Check now, it's checking the next blade. Runs down back to the bottom, checks the next strand. Amazing how many small creatures are out there as well. Very, very small. Got some warthogs. Come on, stop. Let's see, that big one is normally relaxed. I think it's the one we see around here sometimes. Not. A little bit jumpy probably with all this wind.
The question is from Mr. called Tom Wilson. Since this looks like a topic of the day, just wondering when termites swarm, and maybe we can see a mound doing that someday. Also, do you have any ants there that do a large march in the area, like a colony out foraging?
Cool, well, check out. Difficult to decide when to leave. He's just perfectly perched there now. I mean, Tom will get to your question just now. Just look at that. The kind of control you can only imagine. Look at those wingtips. This is quite a challenge for James. This eagle is far away. You see those almost like the fingers at the end of the wings? Those are called alula feathers. And that's actually something that only in the last many years of human flight that they start using that on aeroplane designs. And basically what those fingers, those feathers at the tips do is they reduce the drag, so it means that the bird can hover or fly or not stall and fall if you want, quite low speed. So just while we work our way down to the warthol, yeah, we're going to look around insects and at insects quite a bit this afternoon. It's not one of my specialities. I enjoy them, I think they're fascinating, but I would not call myself an entomologist. But in terms of termites, it's going to be something that might be possible to see if we get some rain, which might even happen today. These clouds are looking like, if they just get the right conditions, if we get some rain, maybe by tomorrow we might actually get some termite swarms, as you call it. Basically when you start getting lots of males and females leaving the mounds to start new colonies. But it's not something you see that often. Also a lot of the time it actually happens at night. And then in terms of ants that march in formation, you don't get as much as you do get in some jungles and forests, but we do get what we call commander ants or army ants, which sometimes get moving in formation when they're hunting, as well as you get them sometimes walking in lines. Especially if there's a good food source, you'll find like a little path of ants. So we'll try and spot some of that. The army ants are quite large, they're quite big, dark ants, so they're easy to see if they are around. Let's have a look at what's happening at the water here. Oh! Well, we might be looking for small things, but we're certainly not going to say no to big things. Look at this guy. Nice and muddy. He's really been having a good rub, obviously. And he's going to have some more of it. Ah, fantastic. I think we should stick with this guy a little bit. Let's see if we get through another gap. But he might get back onto the road that we've been driving on now. Rhinos love walking on this road, and there's also midden down the road. So if we're very lucky and we follow him for a bit, we might actually see him scent mark. So let's just move on a little bit. Ah, very, very good.
Just standing there, eh?
Just chilling. Nowhere to rush to. The tank of the bush. Actually, I want to show you quickly, this is one of the best rubbing spots in the area. If you look at that log, it's a little bit far ahead of us. Let's have a quick look. We're going to catch up to that rhino now, but just look at that. You can see it's smeared in mud, and that would have been from this rhino a few minutes ago. Just behind it is a nice mud wallow area, and he's had a good roll in it. This would have been used to roll his belly on, or to scrub his belly on. Just a nice sort of, where is that? So that's ground level, so he could walk with his legs over it like that, and then rub up and down, and then cruise on again. So let's go follow him. Let's hope we can see some of it. Look Look at that, look at that. Awesome. Just caught the last part of it, but he was spray marking or urine marking into that bush. Center of that bush. Look at all that. That's all rhino urine.
Wasn't this the same tree you were eating leaves off the other day?
I hope not.
It was the same kind of tree, wasn't it?
It was the same kind of tree, yeah. Silver cluster leaf. And maybe that's why it tasted funny. Okay, now rhinos scent mark in two ways. They use urine, like we saw there. And if we're lucky, we're going to see it again now. Let's just turn here. Oh, we might see this again. Look at that. Come on. They mark with urine. And then they also mark with, oh, he's going to have a scrub again. Scratch those more delicate areas. But they also mark with dung. So I'm hoping, if we're very lucky, there's a bit of a midden up ahead, that we might actually see him mark with dung as well. And that's very interesting to see how they kick it around.
Peter, what's a midden?
A midden is just, it's like a marking post or a post office box, some people call it sometimes. It's just basically an area where they mark, and different rhinos when they come through. So this guy is a big dominant bull, he'll mark there. Then tomorrow maybe another rhino comes past a female and she'll mark close to there as well. Or maybe a female marked there a few days ago and he'll walk past and he'll smell her dung and he'll be like, oh, there's a female around and she's an estrus. And then what they do when they mark is they kick the dung around with their feet, both to spread the scent but also to get that scent onto their feet. And by doing so, when this rhino walks along, he actually leaves a nice sort of scent trail. And then if he needs to follow a female or a female needs to follow a bull, they can follow each other like that with the scents.
So it's kind of the way how they find each other.
Exactly that, yeah. It's just a little sort of notice board. Let's have a look at his feet as well. They've got quite, I don't know how to explain it, comfortable looking feet. Imagine such a big animal needs to be able to carry that weight, spread it out over those 4 feet. If you look very carefully, I know it's happening quite fast, but as he lifts that foot, you'll see the 3 toes. We always show it in the tracks. There you can see it, as he picks up the foot. 1 big toe in the front and 2 toes on the side. Nice dusty footpath there, perfect for walking down. Ooh, mark for us please before the turn. Have to see one good marking effort. Of course, he's going to mark just around the corner now. There we go, he's starting to mark. Let's hope we can see this time.
Let's see if he does.
Come on.
Oh man,
He just goes around the bend. Maybe he's a bit shy.
Hey.
Oh, he wants to mark again there. He's getting closer to the water now as well. If we're very lucky, you're going to see him drink as well. Oi, sorry James. It's only a thorn tree. It's very interesting, and unfortunately we didn't see it nice and clear now, but rhinos, they've got quite an interesting design in the penis in terms of 2 things. One is they can bend it backwards, and then the tip of the penis, it's almost like a triangular nozzle. And you can compare it to fire hydrants in the roof that sprays water out. It's very much the same design. And when they pressurize the urine through that nozzle, it turns it into a fine, almost like a vapor-like spray. So when they go and they urinate, they actually spray like a whole area like that. It's very effective. I'm just going to go around and try and catch up to him from the front. Looks like he's going to cross behind Treehouse Dam here.